Chers compatriotes, vous le voyez, la politique des grandes réalisations se met progressivement en mouvement. Notre économie sera alors sur la voie de l'émergence.
Can there be any meaningful development and emergence of Cameroon by 2035 without a viable transportation system? The answer, of course, is an emphatic no, they can't. And President Paul Biya, in an attempt to answer these questions, recently signed 3 important presidential decrees. The one appointing the Director General of the Kribi Ports Authority, the other appointing the Director General of the Douala Ports Authority, and another appointing the Director General of the Cameroon Airlines Company plus its board chair. Hello and welcome. George Wan is my name. This is Inside the Presidency. In today's edition of the program, we shall look at how important the transportation sector is in Cameroon. Our guest will be the newly appointed Directors General of the Kribi Ports Authority, the Douala Ports Authority, and the board chair of the Cameroon Airlines Company, Cameco. So why not sit back, relax, get a glass of water as I join you right after this. Don't go away. That President Paul Biya goes on a private visit makes news because he's head of state. Otherwise, it's just a private visit given an official coloration. August 24, 2016, 11 a.m. at the VIP lodge of the airport, there is an odd mixture of nimbus clouds and a forceful bright sky canopying the airport premises. The rain and the sun compete against each other. The presidential limousine taxis to a halt in front of the VIP lodge where the who's who in Cameroon's legislative and executive arms of government is present to bid goodbye to the head of state. Paul Biya shakes every hand but stops a few minutes to talk to Prime Minister of Government Philemon Yang. A few steps ahead are other government, security and administrative authorities of Yaoundé. Again, he pauses to give rapid instructions to the Delegate General for National Security, Martin Mbarga Ngele. The head of state leaves Cameroon assured that the Boko Haram attack on Sunday last is under control and the victims thereof given appropriate medical attention. He also leaves Yaoundé after 2 important presidential decrees appointing senior officials of the Kribi Ports Authority and those of Cameco. Around the President of the Republic, there is some noticeable change, some new faces. Permanent or temporal is not known. Unlike during previous outings when Paul Biya grants a chain of audiences, on this day, only the Minister, Secretary General of the President of the Republic, Ferdinand Gongo, is granted audience, or if you like, audiences. First, instructions given to him on a rather serious note by the head of state, and a goodbye. Halfway to his regular position, he's quickly called back. Another audience with extra instructions. That hardly happens here at the VIP lodge of the airport. Meanwhile, outside, the hired corporate jet rumbles, waiting for its occupant. The head of state bids goodbye to his close aides again, takes to the red carpet, and halfway to the plane, he pauses and gives a military salute to those officials over there. At the foot of the plane, the President shakes the hands once again of the President of the Senate, the President of the National Assembly, the Prime Minister of Government, and the Minister Secretary General of the Presidency of the Republic. He quickly acknowledges the presence of his pilots and mounts the staircase to the plane. Without looking back, he is engulfed into the belly of the jet. Shortly after 11:30 a.m., the jet taxis to the runway as CPDM supporters dance to the departure of their hero and champion. Soon later, the jet scores for the sky, where the competition between rain and sunshine is still rife, this to the total indifference of the jet that hits the sky. A told you at the beginning of this edition of the program Inside the Presidency that we also had as guest today the Director General of the Douala Ports Authority. His name is Cyrus Ngo. He's just been appointed. Welcome to the President, Mr. Director General.
Thank you, Mr. Warner.
Yes, you've just been appointed Director General of the Douala Ports Authority. May we have your very first impressions?
Yes, I'm very happy. And give thanks to the head of state because the confidence is very high, and it's not ordinary to see this kind of
this kind of confidence.
Yeah, this kind of confidence. I'm very happy to see that my own career is going up.
Okay. The President of the Republic appointed you as the Director General of the Ports, Douala Ports Authority. Now you know the problems that the port has. May we have a little idea of your vision, what you intend to put in place as a vision for the port?
Yes, I don't have a vision myself. What I'm going to implement is what the government is waiting. Okay. The government is waiting the fluidity, the competitivity of the port.
Yes.
That is what I'm going to do.
Okay. Maybe if you don't mind, I send the team down to Douala to look at what obtains at the port right now. We'll have a little report, and when we come back, I'll ask my last question in this program. Yeah. Let's have a report. I'll be right back.
It's a curious situation here at the Douala Ports Authority. On the one hand, the staff is mourning the passing of the former general manager, in the midst of which the new boss, Cyrus Ngo, was appointed by President Paul Biya. Otherwise, the atmosphere here is perceptibly calm. Staff and workers of the port are going about their business with the hope that in a couple of days they'll be having their first glance at their new boss.
I, like all the workers of the Port Authority of Douala, we are happy with the appointment of the new general manager for two reasons. One is that it has come at a very timely moment. The head of state has not waited for too long to give us a new general manager. Shortly after our general manager died, he decided to appoint a new general manager. We are very, very happy that he came very, very early to make sure that there was no vacancy as per se at the helm of the company. We're also happy because when you look at the choice of the new general manager in the person of Mr. Ngo Cyrus, you see that the head of state succeeded, as he has always succeeded, in the choice of the general manager because he's somebody who knows the house. He has been in the board of directors for very long and knows exactly the realities of the company. He knows the challenges, he knows the potential of the company, and he knows where the shoe pinches.
The new general manager is coming to Douala at a time that the port has shaken off most of the ills that characterized it and which gave a less than glowing image. Chief among the problems was chronic congestion that stifled economic activities. Secondly, there was equally cargo dwell time that has been reduced. The concern today is to step up the level of competitiveness among other ports in the country and sub-region. Surely, Cyrus Ngo is the technocrat with the right credentials to pursue the port reforms that have paid off, but that need to be consolidated.
We are like the wagons of a train, and he is the locomotive. We are expecting that the locomotive will successfully pull the wagon to the direction that he wants. Don't forget that the competitiveness of our economy depends on what is happening in the port sector. So we are looking forward to seeing the new general manager stimulate and accelerate activities here at the port to make sure that the two things that we have always targeted, we score points there. We target two things: reduce the passage of goods at the port, whether those goods are destined for export or import. That will make sure that the goods that pass through the port on export or import, they pass at very reduced time lags, and we make sure that cost of handling this good here is reduced at the barest minimum, so that the goods that are going on export, they will be competitive on the world market, and the goods that are coming in for the local consumption will reach the consumer at a very reduced rate.
And I have the hopes that he is going to change so many things that have not been going on well, and I know he's going to bring new methods of working. And when I see him, I see a lot of hope in him. I see a lot of enthusiasm in him. I see the zeal to work, and I know things are going to move well with him.
Yeah, you said part of the success of the port has been due to management's partnering initiatives. Some of its terminals have been privatized, a case in point being the Wood Terminal. The new general manager of the port will need to set his sights on improving the cargo infrastructure in the port, owing to the growing cargo volumes there. Perhaps he may want to be ambitious by turning the port into a regional container hub to benefit from the global maritime trade that the sub-region is benefiting. And who can ignore this other perennial problem of dredging that must be done regularly along the river to attract more ships that may be tempted to go to other natural ports in the country? Perhaps no one will quarrel him too if he decides to expand the port to benefit from global maritime trade, which is turning to larger ships today. Larger ships equal more business and a healthier Cameroonian economy.
We take you to the presidency. We capture the words, the actions, the intentions, and the emotions in picture.
Then we nurture them, we mature them, and give them exposure.
With George Iwane, every fourth night on Inside the Presidency.
If you're just joining us, this is Inside the Presidency. It is a thermometer for presidential prescriptions and actions in the field. I told you at the beginning, we're having a series of Director Generals in this program. Right now, I'm with the Director General of the Ports, Douala Ports Authority, Mr. Cyrus Ngo. Welcome back to the program. We just saw what obtains at the port in Douala. Maybe as a last question to this interview, if you have to talk to the employees of the Douala Ports Authority today, what are you going to tell them?
They have to be in confidence.
Okay.
That I'm not coming to
change everything.
To change everything.
Okay.
I will put in work and job everyone who will
who's competent.
Yes, will be competent.
Okay.
And help me to achieve my
your aims.
My aims.
And your goals. Thank you very much. Maybe last question.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the last. Let us assume that you had the President of the Republic in front of you right now after this appointment. What exactly are you going to tell him?
I will tell him just one word, that I will do what
he expects of you.
Expects from me.
Okay. Thank you very much. I remind our viewers that Mr. Cyrus Ngo is naturally a francophone, but his English is very good. Thank you for being guest in the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I told you at the beginning of this edition of the program Inside the Presidency that we had as one of our main guests today the Minister Delegate and Minister of Transport. He was one time Secretary of State. Presently, he is the newly appointed board chairman of Ailing Cameroon Airlines Corporation, Cameco. His name is Dr. Umaru Mefiro. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I described Cameco as an alien airline company.
Yeah.
Is my description correct?
Why not?
It's ailing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we will be talking briefly on this national company, which is the pride of Cameroon, Cameco. You are a specialist in the transportation domain.
Yeah.
You've written several books and articles on this. I'm sure you should be the right man at the right place.
Yeah.
That's what many Cameroonians think, especially within our newsrooms. Let me find out how you felt on the day you were appointed board chairman of the Cameco by the President of the Republic.
Oh, thank you. First of all, I was being so glad to be appointed like
board chair
of Cameco. I know that I work a lot to give the best idea how to make Cameco move.
No, yeah.
The head of state was the ones who appreciate what I did,
Yes.
what I say.
Yeah.
I considered my appointment like the result of what I said to him.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do it. I'm the one who are going to pick a ball and make a goal.
Yes, you have to score the goals.
Yeah.
You have no choice,
Yes.
Mr. President, because the Cameroonians are waiting. They're waiting to see Cameco really take off fully. On the day of your installation, you were given specific instructions. How are you going to work with your general manager?
You know, you get to work like a gentleman.
Yes.
You don't have some idea, the best idea to how to do Cameco move.
Yes.
Like any company in the world, in Africa.
Okay.
We are not going to create the procedure. The procedure is there.
Okay.
Everyone are going to manage it and to make company move.
Okay.
We work a lot for another companies in overseas and so on.
Yeah.
Why
Now
not
you're
to
coming
promote?
back to your own
Yes.
company.
That's what I spend my time saying to every people who have in charge to make Cameco move.
Yes.
Now I'm the one
Who has to make Cameco move?
I'm going to assume what I did like expert. When I say I'm doing it, I want someone to let us try. I'm going to do it as you did in another country.
Yes. In your book, you talk about just-in-time strategy.
Yeah.
What is that?
You know, when we want to create some company like Cameco, don't check about material.
Okay.
Check about services.
All right.
That's why,
Personnel.
yes,
Okay.
services. What are we going to give to people? The consumer are waiting for something. Without checking for that, it will be difficult to make the company move.
Okay.
Checking for material, aircraft and so on. Aircraft for doing what? For which consumer?
Yes.
That's the question. That's why in logistics, we try to put down the just-in-time production.
Okay.
That means we get to implement our strategy in the
right time,
yes,
the right people.
just in time, what they need, the people who are going to move it, to check in for that,
Okay.
and what is the result at which time,
Yeah.
what's the charge we are going to take the exploitation and so on. The procedure are there. Everyone are working just to take it and do.
And move it, make sure the company
only what?
move.
Step by step, and put the company down.
Okay.
They are not come out. We are not joking with the company.
Yes.
Some will come and joking with, spend a lot of money. It's not the best procedure to create a company.
Okay.
Starting by looking for aircraft and so on. We need to know who need aircraft, which consumer. Where
How
is
do
the
we make them
traffic?
comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. President of the Board of Administrators of Cameroon Airlines Corporation, let's have a little pause. I want us to look at your installation, your appointment, first of all, and installation by the Minister of Transport. We'll come back, we'll be looking at one or two other problems that Cameco has, which I hope you'll be able to bring solutions to. We'll be right back.
The Douala International Airport on a wet and busy Saturday evening. Among the scheduled flights to take off in the next moments is one by Cameroon Airlines Corporation, or Cameco, the country's national carrier. The company staff in their majority have congregated here at the airport to see off more than 200 pilgrims take off from Medina in Saudi Arabia. While this remains their main focus of the moment, still they are acquainting themselves with the new reality of the company. President Paul Biya has appointed yet another chief executive officer of Cameco, the sixth since the creation of the company 5 years ago in 2011 on the ashes of Cameroon Airlines. He is Cameroonian-born 49-year-old Ernest Dikoum, the situation man who has no shortage of ideas and experience coming from Emirates Airlines.
We are very, very happy to be with the new management, and we hope that we will definitely go ahead with the new perspective.
The spirit has always been a positive one, where we have the faith and belief and conviction that we will make it as the whole continent is going through the same process. So Cameroon Airlines has a bright future because we are speaking of a continent, and in Africa everything is on the way of its development.
We are going to have a stable network with the flights that are regular on time. That is it. And with the backup of team who are professionals, be sure that in the next weeks, in the next month, things will be very, very much more than what you are seeing now.
While the crew of Inside the Presidency hovers around the airport, Cameroonians traveling with other aircrafts and to other destinations are itchy to articulate their views on their national carrier.
I think it's a very nice thing. They try to change everything. They change the worker, they change the director. So it's a new beginning for Cameroonians. But from my experience, I never took Cameroon Airlines. I always travel with Ethiopia Airlines. For so many reasons, because too much misunderstanding for the country. So that's why.
Out on the tarmac is a steaming Cameco plane laden with pilgrims. This is definitely one of the best moments for the new management of Cameco. You know, more than 200 pilgrims traveling to Medina any moment now. And in the next couple of days, they will fly more than 2,000 around the country. It's the same situation in Garoua as well as in Douala. So surely things are going to change positively from this image of a flight that is normal, that is positive, and taking so many Cameroonians abroad.
We are fighting to respect the standard, the norm, and so on. And this, a full flight like this one, is it's hopeful for us. We think and we hope that we'll have more passengers for the future.
With the current restructuring of Cameco to be implemented in the coming days, its senior staff are optimistic that the era of delayed and cancelled flights is over, and that if the Boeing proposed plan for the state of Cameroon to write off Cameco's debt of 35 billion CFA francs and inject 60 billion CFA francs is undertaken, then the company that currently records a monthly operating shortfall of 1.5 billion CFA francs would have passed through its worst zone of turbulence. The new CEO is a man of the sector, a professional who will bring his rich experience from another airline company to our own. It's a good thing for our company. Surely the new plan is the best hope for Cameco. If implemented as President Paul Biya has recommended, the national carrier will no doubt emerge from its dismal outlook. And since the American consultants say a flight expansion and business plan can be achieved with more aircrafts, 18 more planes will be bought, up from the present 5. Furthermore, its flight rate will be increased to 27 destinations by 2020, 5 intercontinental to Washington, Paris, Brussels, Dubai, and Guangzhou, 13 sub-regional, and 7 national. If the plan is implemented to the letter, then Cameroon Star will shine brighter in the skies of the world and become more competitive.
We take you to the presidency. We capture the words, the actions, the intentions, and the emotions in picture.
Then we nurture them, we mature them, and give them exposure.
With George Iwane, every fourth night on Inside the Presidency.
Let me just get one word from you. If you met the president, I don't know how many times you see the president, I don't know how many times you write to him, but if you see the president of the Republic now and you had something to tell him, what would you tell him as far as this position you have is concerned?
Just congratulate him
your gratitude.
Yes, my gratitude, and say to him that I'm like a footballer.
Yes.
He give me the ball, I'm going to
score the goal.
A goal.
All right.
Donc, I did it overseas, like expert and so on. And now it's in my country.
And you're going to do it.
I'm going to assume. Now, everyone who have some responsibility must assume. That's why that's the type of thing you get to.
Yes,
the engagement of anyone who has some responsibility.
Okay.
I have knowledge. Everyone knows that I have it. I did it overseas.
Yes.
I'm not going to.
Now going to let your country down.
Yes. I'm going to assume they need to go, and the Director General is someone who
knows the aviation
yes.
too.
We are going to work to join everyone for the success, for the performance of Cameco.
Okay.
There are a lot of money. Air Ivoire will not need a lot of money to move.
Yes.
We need expertise, putting down, going step by step, and put the company down. You have what someone needs. The traffic.
Yes.
Cameroon is help.
Yeah, sure.
That's why Air France have
about so many flights
of the Turkish Airlines.
Yeah.
Cameroon look like someone who have a plate.
Yeah, and cannot eat.
No, they are.
Cannot eat.
Yes.
You have a plate of food inside that you cannot eat.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. President, thank you very much. Your last word was that you have the ball, you're going to score the goal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's why I say I did it. There are some company in the
out of the country.
Yes.
That we work
See in Cameroon here, they have British Town, National Cheaper Concern, the one who put in down.
Yes.
And now they are bringing something for the development of Cameroon development. The Cameroon sent me to the school. I know it, but now is the time to show what
Cameroonians that you learned something and you're going to make it profitable for
There's someone who say, now we are not here to speak a lot.
Yes.
We are going to put act, putting down, working with what someone will need, who have confidence to do Cameco move.
Okay.
And we have what they call in French fond de commerce. Cameroon are so patriotic and they need their company.
Sure.
Done. It will be easy to us to disconnect some Cameroonians who
now be companies.
Yes,
to come back to their company.
What they need, we know how to put it down. We are not moved by looking for aircraft. Someone said that we need 10 aircraft now to do what with.
You need what you have already, but you need to
slowly. And we don't need the avion d'occasion. Let me say that.
Yes, you need new planes.
Yes, you have procedure to have
a new plane
and to be accompanied by the one who.
Yes, by a strategic partner.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
It's too easy.
It's easy. It sounds easy. We wait. Cameroonians will wait to see what results you have in the next 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, we are going. Seeing we move, the first thing we are going to put down the international
flights.
Yes.
Yes.
It will not be. It's not the best thing to move with 30 persons.
Yes.
To
somewhere like this. You need to be clean. You need to clean the house before you can move aside. Mr. President, talk to Cameroonians. Just one word. Assure them. Talk to Cameroonians who are customers of Cameco, who have been disappointed. What are you telling them now? Just in one word.
Just say that we integrate in our strategy what they need to the company. So we need them to give us some confidence. We are going to give them their company.
Thank you very much. That was the last word. Thank you for being guest in the program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The papers on newsstands had a wide range of issues spotlighted, amongst them a number of decisions taken by the head of state to inject new impetus in the management of some establishments. The national bilingual daily Cameroon Tribune features the new men at the helm of the national carrier Cameco, appointed by presidential decree. Mefiro Umaru, board chair, and Ernest Dikum, director general, have on their shoulders the daring task to implement the restructuring plan of the carrier. They will have to step up Cameco's fleet to 9 aircrafts, endorse 27 new destinations, seek an exit from its 35 billion CFA franc debt, and effectively manage some 25 billion CFA francs loan pumped into the company by governments. For the post, the appointment by President Paul Biya violates the 1999 law, which stipulates that the post of Member of Parliament or government is incompatible with the post of board chair of any state corporation. While Le Jour questions the competence of the newly appointed and how they can effect change in the ailing company, the paper reports on the commissioning into office of the Director General of the Douala Autonomous Port, Cyrus Ngo. Another presidential decree appoints Patrice Melom as Director General of the Kribi Autonomous Port, which is Africa's first deep-sea port. As the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, leaves Cameroon for a private visit to Europe, Cameroon Tribune highlights some of the issues at stake and the audience granted to the Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic, Ferdinand Ngongo. Mutation, on its part, focuses on the president's trips abroad and the toll on the country's coffers, as well as the Ford Albatros affair, which has led to the arrest and sentence of several accused. La Météo presents a level-headed President Paul Biya in the face of criticisms on the social media on his policies and family scandals. For the paper, the rumors are no deterrent to his determination to crush the Boko Haram sect in the Far North region. Le Jour comments on the retaliation of the insurgents in Kolofata and the decision of the administrative authorities to tighten security in the area. We end the press review on the presidents with the fulfilled promises of the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces to a contingent of soldiers. The soldiers received their dues increased from 250,000 CFA francs to 450,000 CFA francs for going through the risky assignments of the United Nations multi-dimensional integrated stabilization mission in the Central African Republic. That was what the paper said on the presidents on Inside the Presidency.
This is Inside the Presidency. I told you at the beginning, we're having very interesting conversations with the different directors generals of the Kribi Port Authority and the Douala Port Authority. Right now I have with me the Director General newly appointed of the Kribi Port Authority. He was previously, in fact he still occupies the position, coordinator of the steering committee of the Kribi Industrial Ports Complex. His name, Patrice Melom. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I should say congratulations from the CRTV team. This is not the first time we're talking to you. We've talked to you in your previous position as coordinator of the steering committee of the Kribi Industrial Ports Complex. You've been appointed the first general manager or director general of the Ports Authority of Kribi. May we know how you feel about this?
Thank you, George. I would say that I feel more and more comfortable.
Okay.
Because at the beginning I was very surprised.
Yes.
And I could hardly believe
that you're going to be appointed to that kind of prestigious position. Yes.
I wondered so many people coming to me to congratulate me.
Okay.
But now, as the day passes, I'm thinking about
measure the weight of the appointment.
Yeah, I have to measure the importance of the task.
Okay.
This is a very huge task for me.
Yes.
Yes, but I hope I could do it.
Yes. You're certainly going to do it. You know so many things about the Kribi Ports Authority. You were the coordinator of this steering committee. So, as Director General, certainly you have a lot of background material on the functioning of this port. Let me find out from you that after your installation, what next?
During the installation ceremony, the Ministry of Transport asked me to accelerate the process. First of all, to sign the contracts with operators on the terminals, and to do everything so that the port could be operational.
Okay.
This will be the main roadmap for me.
Okay. The port has only two personnel. You and your assistant. Yes. It's another tedious task to build the personnel.
We are going to structure the organization.
Okay.
That means an organigram and also recruit personnel.
Okay. Yes. That's not going to be easy for sure.
This is not easy.
It's not easy.
I can tell you.
All right.
These things, the decision.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how many
hours of sleep you've had.
How many persons came to me to look for a job.
It's not easy.
This is really difficult.
Well, you have the profile for that job. We only can wish you the best. Mr. Director General, maybe before we continue to talk about your new job and the Kribi Ports Authority itself, if you don't mind, I'll take you and our viewers to Kribi to see how the port itself looks like. Today, so many people might be doubting. We'll talk about the Kribi Ports Authority. If you haven't seen them in pictures, then I bet you're losing a lot. So we'll give you the opportunity to look at how the port of Kribi looks like, and this port of Kribi that is going to be, why not, the hub of Cameroon's economy. Stay with us.
The first phase of the Kribi Deep Sea Port is now complete. This gigantic structure that covers a surface area of about 50 hectares will be managed by a three-man pioneer team appointed recently by the head of state, President Paul Biya. The situation at the seaport is serene as workers look forward to receive their new management team.
There is no doubt that Mr. Melon Patrice at the helm of the new management of this port was a great joy for us. I mean, we were very happy when we heard that he was appointed, and we think that all the personnel is ready to, to give him our cooperation and try to see how we can help him, even though we still belong to the operational unit. And we don't have any doubt that he's very competent and can handle the job, because we've been with him for about 4 years. He's worked here for about 4 years and knows everything about this project. He's the right man in the right place.
The new management team, made up of Jean-Pierre Simo as board chairman, Melon Patrice as director general, and Aruna Bako as deputy director general, are taking over a huge seaport complex with 2 major terminals and other facilities that can be compared to any modern seaport in the world.
I will start by the breakwater. The breakwater is the infrastructure to protect all the quay wall. The length is around 1,355. We have the colonial quay wall of 615 meters for a container multipurpose. The container is 350 meters and the multipurpose is 265 meters. We have a staking area for the container is around 15 HA, and the general cargo is around 10 HA. We have all the equipment, as you can see, for along the quay wall from the apron, and we have also in the staking area we have the equipment, mobile equipment, and some fixed equipment. You have the lighting, you have the power supply and water supply available on site to be sure that any 24-hour and 7 to 7 we have the supply of all the utilities. We have the canteen and administrative building to receive the people who will stay here and work on this area.
One of the major tasks of the Pioneer Director General Melon Patrice is to ensure that the port goes operational. For this to happen, measures must be taken to receive the first heavy vessels coming from different parts of the world.
The port is complete, the work is complete, and the port and the equipment are ready to receive the heavy vessel. We already received two big, the Valparaiso and the San Juan, who bring all the equipment you can see along the berth and also inside the stackyard. It just remains now to have the other partners, the other parties, the other stakeholders who must come and discuss and agree on the procedures and discuss about all the others needs to be put in place for the commercial activities start for on the long term.
Cranes of different sizes are all in place at the platform to load and offload containers and other goods.
It is here behind me that heavy vessels coming from different parts of the world are going to dock to have their goods offloaded. At the moment, goods have not yet started coming, but with the appointment of the new general manager of the Kribi Deep Sea Port and the board chairman, it is believed that in the near future, goods will start coming here, and by so doing, economic activities will boom here at the Kribi Deep Sea Port.
The safety of equipment, persons and goods entering or leaving the Kribi Seaport has been reinforced. At the moment, a security and safety unit has been put in place to coordinate all security issues at the level of the port.
For the maritime security, we have a buoyed channel which allows the ships to come in safely. And we have also two tugboats. They are small, but in power very powerful, 4,200 horsepower. They are able to handle big ships around 70,000 or 100,000 tons deadweight. And on the seaside, we have a CCTV system. All the light masts are equipped with cameras, fixed and PTZ, and we have a control center. From there, we can monitor all the activities inside the port area. We have also taken measures for the fire security. We have fire stations, we have 2 fire trucks, and we have a fire brigade department.
One of the security measures taken is the construction of this huge dike separating the sea from the platform.
Without this dike, it would be impossible for activities to take place at the platform of the Kribi Deep Sea Port. The dike serves as a shield to prevent water from getting to the platform when the tidal waves are very high.
Offices for the staff and warehouses for the storage of goods are all complete. The new management team now has the uphill task of coming up with the organizational chart of the corporation and to oversee all the different services and activities at the Kribi Deep Sea Port. This is Charles Anyango reporting in Kribi for Inside the Presidency.
We take you to the presidency. We capture the words, the actions, the intentions, and the emotions in picture.
Then we nurture them, we mature them, and give them exposure.
With George Iwane, every fortnight on Inside the Presidency.
If you just enter your homes and switching on your TV sets, you're on the right channel. This is the Cameroon Radio Television, and you're watching the program Inside the Presidency. Of course, you know it is a thermometer for presidential prescriptions and actions in the field. The action on the field right now is the appointment of the Director General of the Kribi Ports Authority. His name, Patrice Melom, and we're having a conversation with him. Mr. Director General, welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
Yes, we've gone to Kribi. We've seen what obtains over there. Let me come back to you. I know the task is a heavy one, it's a tedious task. May I find out what importance you attach to this port, the Kribi port? We know that there's a Douala port, but what importance is the Kribi port?
The Kribi port is very, very, very important for not only only our country, but also the West Coastal Africa.
Yes.
Very, very important. You know, it is a deep sea port.
Yeah, deep sea port.
Deep sea port. Contrary, Douala is not a deep sea port.
Yes.
So it's, at Kribi, we will have very, very big ships.
Okay.
To come to Kribi port, and this will surely, for sure, boost our economy.
Okay.
And also at Kribi, we have very modern equipment and infrastructure.
Yes.
This is also very important. I could say that this port will be a very, very competitive one. We are doing everything for this.
Okay. The President of the Republic has not yet come to inaugurate this port. We know about 3 phases of this port. Last time we talked to you, you told us that just the first phase has been completed. It looks so beautiful. What about the second and the third phases?
Yes, according to the master plan,
yes,
we are going to build 20 terminals, 20 beds.
Yes.
Within 20 or 25 years. Until now, we have completed the first phase, and we are about to launch the second one.
Okay.
In the second phase, we will also have 700 meters of quay. That is more of what we have now.
Okay.
And as I say, progressively, depending on the traffics, we will develop and build other terminals.
Now, let us look at it this way. When all the phases of the port, of the Kribi Port Complex must have been completed, at what level will we place that port in Africa, in the world at large?
Our intention is that, as I said, Kribi should be the best port in sub-region,
in Africa?
Not only sub-region.
Okay.
We are talking about the West Coastal Africa.
Coastline, yes. Okay. You have that ambition?
Kribi should be the best one.
Yes. Now let's talk about the people of Kribi themselves. You are from the south. From what I gather, I've not verified that information, but you are from the south, and a son of that area is managing the port of Kribi. What do you think will be the feelings of the people of Kribi themselves in terms of their expectations, but also in terms of the development of Kribi? Is something going to be something going to add to what Kribi looks like right now?
I think so. And if you compare the situation from 4 years ago to now, we should know that Kribi has changed. This is
as a result of the port.
Yes, also.
Okay.
We have built the roads in the town.
Yes.
And I think the population of Kribi should be proud that their son has been appointed.
As the
but I would say, I will also present that unfortunately, I'm not going to work only for them.
Yeah, you're a Cameroonian. We are appointed for Cameroon, and you have to drive the president's emergency plan forward.
Yes. Talking about employment, for example.
Yes.
My intention is that I will employ the better persons.
Yes, those who have the quality, the material, the substance.
They should have the better profile.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. If not, I'm not sure to have the result.
Okay. Mr. Datus, now we have one last question to ask you. Before I go to that last question, I want to take you back again to our videotapes because we talked to the population of Kribi to get the impression about this new appointment and what they expect from the Kribi Ports Authority. And we'll come back, we'll be concluding with our guest in this edition of the program. So stay on.
The Ocean Division as a whole, and Kribi in particular, has been in a festive mood since the appointment by the head of state, President Paul Biya, of the first management team to run the affairs of the Kribi deep sea port.
The appointments of Jean-Pierre Simon Gino as board chair of the Kribi deep sea port, Melon Patrice as the Director General of the Kribi Deep Sea Port, and Aruna Bako as his deputy, has been received with a lot of joy by the cross-section of the population at the seaside resort town of Kribi. They see this appointment as a pointer that in the days ahead, things will start effectively at the Kribi Deep Sea Port.
Elites of the Ocean Division have been reacting positively to the appointments and view it as a reflection of the head of state's vision of appointing the right persons in the right places.
Nous voulons remercier le chef de l'État pour sa promesse tenue.
We thank the head of state for respecting his promise of making Kribi a tourist and now an industrial town. The appointment of Melon Patrice, a son of the Ocean Division, as Director General of the Kribi Port, is simply putting the right person at the right place. This is because he masters the whole setup, owing to the fact that he served as coordinator of the pilot phase of the port for 4 years. We thank the head of state sincerely. We count on the new management team and hope the officials will meet up with the aspirations of Cameroonians, especially those of the people of the Ocean Division.
Le chef d'État a bien voulu choisir pour diriger notre premier port en eau profonde.
The mayor of Kribi One Urban Council was also very appreciative of the appointment made by the head of state.
Aujourd'hui, on est à la nomination des différents responsables.
The appointment of Melon Patrice and the others to run the affairs of the Kribi Deep Sea Port is a demonstration of the confidence the head of state has for them. We are behind the new management team and hope the officials will be up to the task. We express our gratitude to the head of state for the appointment. Our dream has now become a reality. We are indeed happy for Kribi and Cameroon as a whole.
Nous ne pouvons être que contents pour la ville et pour tout le Cameroun.
Officials of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the CPDM in Kribi, see the appointment of the pioneer team as an indication that the activities at the port will soon start and as such provide jobs to their supporters and boost economic activities in the city of Kribi and even beyond.
C'est une très bonne nouvelle, nous l'avons accueilli avec beaucoup de joie.
The appointment made by the head of state is a good thing. We CPDM officials have been expecting it. Our hope is to see the project go operational as fast as possible and to absorb some of our youth who are in the job market. We are happy for the appointment and will accompany the new management team in the accomplishment of their missions.
Et nous leur souhaitons plein succès. Nous les attendons, nous allons les accompagner, n'est-ce pas, dans leur mission.
Cameroonians from other regions based in Kribi have also joined in their voices to thank President Paul Biya for the appointment.
We, like people from other regions that are resident here in Kribi, when I learned that the new team has been appointed to manage the ports, in fact, I was very happy because I know that we are living here like brothers and sisters, and we have to profit because economically things are going to increase and everything will be better than before. So we know we have much to benefit from this report. And we want to thank the head of state for such an appointment that is beneficiary to all the inhabitants of Kribi.
Following the appointment of the three-man pioneer team, the expectations of Cameroonians is to start seeing heavy vessels arriving at the Kribi Deep Sea Port.
A wish of all and sundry in Kribi is to see the new management team of the Kribi Deep Sea Port carry out its activities as assigned by the head of state, President Paul Biya. This is Charles Anyongo reporting from Kribi for Inside the Presidency.
Welcome back once again. We're concluding the program with the Director General of the Kribi Ports Authority, Mr. Patrice Melom. Welcome back to the program again, Mr. Director General. I said before we went on break that I still had one question. Actually, it's not a question. I want you to express yourself to the President of the Republic. I don't know how many times you meet him or how much of discussion you have with him, but let us assume that you met the President of the Republic now on a one-to-one basis. All right, that just the two of you are there. Yes. What are the things you will tell him?
I will see this opportunity to thank the head of state for appointing me at this position. I will also assure him that I will do everything not to deceive him. I will use all my energy so that this new baby could walk and even run.
Become an adult, yes. Walk and run. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Patrice Melom, for having accepted to be guest in the program.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Chers compatriotes, vous le voyez, la politique des grandes réalisations se met progressivement en mouvement. Notre économie sera alors sur la voie de l'émergence.
The ball is now set rolling for the emergence of Cameroon by 2035. The new Directors General and the board chair of the Cameroon Airlines Company, Cameco, have a lot of work to do. The best we can wish them is, in fact, the best, so to speak. That was the package we put together in this edition of the program Inside the Presidency. If you liked it, as I'm sure you did, then join us again unfailingly in a fortnight when we bring to you further interesting insights into the activities of the President of the Republic of Cameroon. And until then, it's goodbye.